Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Class 15. Okay. And today I will teach you that how to implement JK flip-flop. So VHDL code to implement JK flip-flop. Okay, so that SR flip-flop, what I have done in the previous class, and as well as some D flip-flop. Okay, so I told you to implement T flip-flop. So have you done that one? I think I did one task to implement T flip-flop. Have you done?
Sure, I did, but it's not working out. And I like in that, sir, we I took one variable, so that is temporary. From that, rising edge trigger if is equal to one.
Hmm,
Sorry,
hmm,
clock. Then if t is equal to one, then temp is equal to not temp, which I did. And
But it is not working.
yes, sir.
Okay, so today two program I will write JK flip-flop as well as T flip-flop. Okay. So let us start with the JK flip-flop and then I will write. Directly two program I will write and then I will close the class today. So first of all, JK flip-flop, there are two inputs. So first is J and there is K. Okay. And output, you can say that output is Q and Qn. Okay. So it is similarly like Qn and Qn bar. Okay. So if this is the output and they are complementary, okay, so that means if q is 0, qn equal to 1, and qn equal to 0, that means q should be 1. Okay, so let us just start by writing the library. Library, okay, let me write. Library IEEE, then use standard logic. So IEEE std standard logic 1164 dot all. So this is library, and then I have to start the program. So entity of JK flip flop, okay, is, and then port. I have to write port. Now definitely J is the input, so J equal to in. So equals is not correct. Proper sign I have to write is in, and definitely it is standard logic. Okay, and K is also input in standard logic. Now I have Q and Qn bar. So before that I need to write clock signal, because now you understand that there is a need of clock and clear. So let me write clock. It is also input standard logic, and clear. So CLR. It is also input standard logic, and Qn bar. See, if you see the internal structure of JK flip-flop, you already know that we have this kind of gate, okay, and now we have the interconnection both from Q and Qn bar. So I can directly write Q and Qn bar is an input output. So Q equal to in out. So this thing you already know, in previous class I discussed. In out standard logic, and is equals to 0. Okay, and let us say this is semicolon, and Qn also in out, standard logic, and initialization is equal to 1. You know why? I already told in the previous class, because the in out signal, if you take, either you have to define it, and if you do not want to define, then you can initialize the number. Means the current input, okay, let us say it is 1. Definitely if you do not give any kind of input at the second point, the output will not change, okay, even if there is a change in the rising edge trigger. So you have to initialize the initial point from where the program should start. Okay, if you do not do it, then the program will not execute, it will show you an error. So here in this case I have initialized it. If you do not want to use initialize, then what you'll have to do, you have to give one proper relationship between q and bar as you are using is in out signal. Okay, like I did for SR flip flop, SR latch. So as here, so this is the thing, and this today you will learn another important aspect of programming. So here that okay, initialization I have done so that I can eliminate this kind of complexity of initial value problem. So this end, this JK, that part is over. Now I should start architecture. Okay, I should start architecture. And as you know, in the previous class when I talk about the SR latch, okay, I told you that whenever you have in output signal, you need to use two architecture. One, if it is only digital circuit, you can go for the data flow model, and then you can go for the architectural behavioral model or to implement the process, right? But here you see I have clock. Okay, so clock actually controls the event, so I actually don't need to process AS like I did for SR flip flop. AS and R I had already processed, but now I do not have to process, I have to only process the clock signal. Okay, and clock will control the entire event. Now second point is that here I am using in out signal. Okay, so that in out signal, either you declare it what is the XOR gate and everything, okay, using data flow model, or else you can use a signal function. Okay, so that I actually today I will discuss. So let us say architecture, what how you can discuss or how we can write. So architecture, first you declared behavioral model. So this is behavioral, okay, of JK flip flop basically is, then there is a stop. You see I already told you, if you want to use a in out signal, you need to define, okay, one architecture that using data flow or something like that, you need to define what is the relationship between q and bar. Okay, with respect to j and k, like I did for SR flip flop. Okay, but I don't want to incorporate two architecture now. So how do I eliminate it? Because first advantage in this JK flip flop is that unlike the SR latch, there was no clock. Okay, so I need to process S and R both. But here, unlike the SR latch, I have a control variable which is the clock. So clock can control the event. So therefore, I do not need to process J and K. Okay, so if I can process only clock, so that is sufficient. But one problem still persists, that is the what is the relationship between this q and bar with respect to j and k. Okay, so that problem I can solve by writing or taking a signal. Okay, this is very important. So this is the another learning point of VHDL here. So you can also take a signal. So JK, what is that symbol I have taken? Capital J, capital K. So whatever symbol you have taken, that you need to follow. JK, and it is a standard logic vector. Okay, standard logic vector 1 down to 0, that means 2. So basically I j and k, it can be 0 1, it can be 1 0, something like that. Okay, and that I intentionally have taken using this signal. Okay, that is also an alternative way you can incorporate, okay, in your program. Now after declaring this that jk is a signal, then you can start your program. So that is begin. Okay, so this is the main learning point. This is another two learning point, in out and this. And you can see here I have initialization in out. I have not used any separate architecture. What I did for SR. Point number one. Point number two, I intentionally initialize the value. Okay, so that there will be no surround condition, so that the initial value problem can be eliminated. Otherwise, I have to declare here. So initialization value I should declare here. Okay, so that I do not want. Okay, so that's why I initially I have given the value. Now next begin and then process. So only clock signal I will process, and then what I will do, I'll begin. Now another interesting thing you see. So definitely JK, the value what you will going to take this program, it should be equal to that signal value. Okay, so this signal you have to take into your program. This is the another way to implement your signal into your program. Okay, whenever you are taking signal, okay, you need to assign. So current jk value should be equal to the signal jk. So j and k. If you do not write that, what will happen? The signal, what will happen that you can vary the signal, okay, 0 1 1 0, but it will not be taken into a program. Okay, so this signal value basically you need to incorporate in your program. So how we can do that? You can do using simply defining jk. Okay, because I have taken capital, so jk is should be assigned to j and k, whatever value you can consider. Then next is very easy. If clear equals to 1, then so q, the output will be 0. Simple. Okay. Else if it is not, clear is not, then rising edge. Okay. Clock. So clock, then what to do? Then you need to assign what will be the output. Okay, so then I am going to use case structure. So I did already how to use case structure. So I'll do like that. Case, the variable which is jk here, okay, is, so you see here signal, actually the signal value whatever that will incorporate to that jk. Now case jk is when there is a variable, means 0 1. Now here you have to take 2. Then what I will do, that q should be assigned to what? Will be 0. Will be assigned to 0. Next, when it is let us say 1 0, then what I have to take? Then output q should be equals to 1. Okay, let me check. So j, what is that? Qn plus 1. Qn plus 1 equal to j qn bar plus k bar into qn. Okay, so what I have taken, initialize value is initialization I have taken that q should be 0. Okay, q should be 0 and q bar should be 1. Q should be 0. Okay, so that means here 0 bar means 1, q should be 0. Okay, so that means it is 0. So whatever multiply, it will be 0. And j, so if j is 0, then output will be 0. Okay, so let me check what I did here. If j value is 0, the output will be 0. Very good. Now if k, so 1 0, then j value is 1, so 1 multiplied by 1 means 1. Okay, so that is correct then. Okay, when, then what I will write, 1 0 0 1 is over, then 1 1. Can anyone tell me what will be the output of this case? What will be the output of this case?
0.
Toggle, sir. Toggle.
Toggle. Yes, very good. So toggle. So how to define or how to means write the toggle state? Q is equals to not Q. Okay. See, this is how we can define not, toggle, because you do not see whether either it will be 0 or it will be 1. Okay, use, what is the meaning of this line? Nothing. Q equal to not Q, it means what? If Q equal to 1, then it is 0, or if it is 0, then it is 1. That means it is a toggle state. Okay, so to define that, I have to write like this. Okay, and as you are using case structure, okay, then definitely you have to use others. Oh, sorry, others should not be invited. So if this is the case, then what I should write? Invalid. Okay, so Q, it is optional. You can use it, you cannot, that is optional. But generally in case structure there is a need for giving others. Okay, so Q equal to NA. Okay, okay, then this you can stop this. Okay, so end case basically. Okay, so case is end, and I have started with if, so end if, and the process I have started the clock, so end the process. Okay, so this process is completed, right? Then one thing is still left, which is Qn. Definitely Qn equal to not of Q. Okay, because JK flip-flop, if you think that if it is Q, definitely it is Qn bar. Okay, so that can be written in this here after ending the process. Okay, and then end behavioral. So this program will ultimately you can implement. You can see the JK flip-flop will work. Okay, so what are the learning point here? The first learning point I have to note. Okay, and you please check when you revise in your. This is the first learning point here. Second learning point, how to initialize the value. Okay, and third learning point is here, how to assign the signal in a program. This is third, and finally fourth is this, that after completing the process, you should do not forget to implement the complementary one. Okay, so complementary means Qn should be Q. Okay, so is that clear to you? Now I will apply the similar logic, and let me just write the program for T flip flop. Okay, so for T flip flop, any question you want to ask regarding the JK flip flop? I think you understand. You can revise and then you can apply. Okay, so T flip flop. So here directly let me start with what I will start entity. Okay, entity T is, then port. Here what will be the port? Let us say small t. In, definitely it is standard logic. Okay, and can anyone tell me what are the other output, other input? That is clock and is clear, so that is in standard logic. So very easy. Okay, if you understand, then it take very less time. Okay, so standard logic, that is over. Now finally Q and Qn bar I have to take. So Q, let us say only Q. Q is what? So here in out. Okay, I have already given this example in the previous class. Standard logic, and you need to say or what will be the value, initial value. So let us say it is 0. Only one inverted comma. There is no sol is not required. Okay, and here Qn is only out. And I have explained why it is in out and why it is out. Okay, that part is over. I already told you this in previous class to do. And then end T over, and after the architecture part I just not have written in the previous class, so today I am writing architecture behavioral model. Okay, behavioral model is not required, only behavioral of what? Behavioral of T. Okay, is okay, and then what I will write, begin, and then once again process. Which one to process? Clock. Let me take more space. After processing clock, another thing is that you need to begin your thing again. So begin. Okay, so that part, so this is okay, and you know the structure as well. So if clear, so clear equal to 1. Okay, then what I have to do? Then Q should assign to 0. Is that clear? Then LSIP. LSIP, what I have to check? So clear I have checked. So if it clear is actually not equal to 1, then I need to check for your clock. So clock LSIP rising edge. Okay. CLK clock. And then what I have to write? If rising edge clock is okay, then what I will write? Then Q should be equals to T. T is the input, XOR gate basically, okay? Or let me just write properly, not capital. So it is XOR is like this. XOR, not T. This Q. Because and you see here there will be no problem because this Q is the current current output, and this is the previous output of Q, and previous output you can the program will take from the initialization value. So initialization you have already given, which is 0. Okay, so that program will not give you any error. So that part is over. And then what I have to check? So end if there is nothing is required, because here Qn plus 1 is basically equal to T of XOR gate of Qn. So if this is for T flip flop, so that only one sentence, it is over. Okay, end if is then end process. Okay, end process. Then if it is true end process, then anyone can tell me that what else I have to write. Okay, after ending the process, Qn right. Okay, so Qn, don't forget that. So Qn equal to should be not of Q, and then end behavioral. Okay, so this is the program for T flip flop. You can run and you can check. Okay, definitely it will work. So you can see here, so clear, this is 1. Okay, this is 1, and this is output will be 0. Let me check. So here there is nothing learning. I mean, you can see this only Q is the intermediate variable I have used, and I also have initialized this, and there is nothing new in this program. Okay, only thing is that here that rising edge and Q equal to T XOR Q, that relationship you need to know, and there is no case structure is required for this type of case, because only single variable, it is enough to represent the output. Okay, if it is not, okay, then that is a difficult thing. Okay, you need to use then case structure, case one, like I did for JK flip flop. Maybe you have to take them variable, a signal variable. Okay, so that part you have to take, but here it is simple, straightforward, so you can directly do. Okay, any question you want to ask regarding this T flip flop and JK flip flop? So you need to practice. Okay, so if I ask you to practice this type of thing, you can apply the same knowledge and prepare one, let us say 2 or 3 bit register. Okay, using simple, using maybe JK flip, not JK flip flop, but let us say T flip flop. So using T flip flop, try to make one register. Okay, shift register. So you try. Okay, so implement or shift register, only 2 bit, not more than that. 2 bit shift register. 2 bit shift register using T flip flop. Using T flip flop. You please practice. Okay,
Okay,
applying
sir.
this knowledge. Okay, so I am stopping here today. Any question you want to ask?